We made it to 100 subs. Woo! Finally.
Yeah.
So, because to celebrate, yay, 100 subs,
Yes.
we're going to be doing a new episode line called
Cooking Basics.
So essentially, Cooking Basics is going to be episodes where we simply just do cooking and baking 101. So we're just going to do like simple recipes, more like technique based and like how you do certain things, different methods. For example, we're going to go through the wonderful world of chocolate and all the different pains and disasters with dipping things in chocolate.
Yeah.
I've had a huge long journey with all the different problems that happen. So we're going to go through that, for example. And so essentially, overall the episode line is just going to be going through 101 and like learning about cooking techniques and things like that. So our first episode is going to be
Simple syrup.
And so
Let's get started. Alright, so these are the things you're going to need. So you're going to need a knife.
Why'd you hold it like that?
A fork, a pan, saucepan. You can use strawberries. They can be old like these. It doesn't really matter.
Strawberries go bad way too fast. Is a really good way to use them.
Measuring cup, or is it liquid measuring cup? Cutting board for the strawberries, and sugar. That's it. Pretty simple. Alrighty, so to get started, you're gonna have to cut your strawberries first. You can just cut these in half.
And while she's doing that, I'm gonna work on the sugar. So you're gonna chop up your strawberries. Amount of strawberries. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have around 8 strawberries. I'm not sure. I'm sure kids can be sorry. We have about 8 strawberries. You can just do what's it called? 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Depends on the size. But other than that, for our actual ingredient, where did I put my measuring spoon? Oh, cup, I should say. Oh my goodness. Give me a sec. Oh, sorry. Measuring cup acquired. Alright. So, you want a half cup of sugar. Just gonna get that. Alright. You're gonna add this to your saucepan. I forgot what this was. What's that? Alright, and then you're gonna get, I use the same cup, you're gonna get a half cup of water.
Just trying to make sure there's no mold on these. They're kind of old.
Yeah. Should probably be using filtered water, but I never do. But good or bad, whatever. But here you go. You're gonna add your half cup of water to your pot or pan. Alright, and then just finish up the strawberries. There we go. Nice. And now we're going to take this, move over to the stove.
Alright, we made it to the stove. Put down your pot and turn the heat to a medium-low. We're then going to wait 2 to 3 minutes for this mixture to reach a simmer. Alright, we're back. As you see, it's reached quite a little bit of a simmer. We're going to mix this. We really want to help the sugar dissolve. And so just keep mixing to help the sugar along. And then we're going to wait until this mixture reaches more of a rolling boil. Alright, it's really going in it now, as you can see. So we're going to mix this again, just to make sure all the sugar is completely dissolved. And we're going to let this go on for another 3 to 5 minutes. Great, this is looking super bubbly. So now we're just going to give this a little quick mix. And then we're going to start adding flavor into the actual syrup. So what you're going to do here is you're going to gently press some of the strawberries against the side of your saucepan. And this is going to start helping release some of the juice, and it really helps darken the syrup color and add a lot more flavor. Don't overdo this. You don't want to mush the fruit because it makes your syrup all cloudy. Just do a light push against the side. We are also going to strain this mixture, so keep that in mind. So you don't have to go crazy about making sure you don't overdo it, but still be careful. You don't want to have in those pumpkin lattes where you have all or orange juice with the pulp and you have that stuff floating around. I personally really don't like that, so try to avoid it by not overdoing it with crushing the fruit. Alright, when that's done, let this sit for another 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes later, we're going to remove this from the heat. Of course, turn off your stove. And, oh, sorry about the steam. We're going to move this over to the island. Now you're going to need a medium bowl, preferably glass, and a strainer. And we're simply going to strain our mixture into this bowl. Sorry once again about the steam. Be sure not to crush the strawberries while you're straining. That'll really cloudy up the resulting syrup and result in that gritty texture, pulpy kind of sort of thing you do not want here. But anyway, here's our syrup. It looks nice and clear. Now that we know how to make a simple syrup, we're going to start showing different ways we can actually use the simple syrup. First, let's talk cake. So simple syrup can be used to really keep your cakes moist and stop them from being dry, and it can add a lot of flavors. So we're going to have our simple syrup here, and we have these 2 vanilla cake layers. Brianna helped make for us. We're just going to flip them over, and we're going to poke holes in the base, and this will allow us to brush on our simple syrup. So just take any old toothpick, or you can use a fork if you would like, and just poke holes in the base of your cake, or the top, but I like doing the base because it tends to have a lot more holes already there, so it can kind of speed up the process for you. Alright, now we're going to take our brush and brush on our simple syrup. Now, I recommend just leaving the cake layer on the baking sheet and brushing it on. I don't know why I was doing this. It's like the worst way you could possibly do this, but oh well, you guys get a good view. So essentially just dip the brush in and just brush it on. A good thing to note with this, you want thin syrup to make sure you don't over reduce your syrup. So kind of the texture I have right now is kind of what you're looking for. And another key thing, do not over syrup your cakes. I did this once where I made like this vanilla and chocolate layer cake, and I put way too much syrup on. It was the first time I ever used simple syrup. And after I decorated the cake, it sat there for like, I'd say 30 minutes, and the whole top layer, like it didn't slide off, like it broke in half, and like half the cake just broke off. It was the saddest thing ever. So be sure not to over syrup it. The cake can get really heavy and it's easier for it to break off. So just be careful and keep that in mind. I would say it takes experience to kind of learn how much you need so the cake's like the perfect amount. So just do it at your own discretion and, take it slow. You'll figure it out with time. Alright, so let's move on to the next way we can use simple syrup, and that would be drinks. So for our first drink, we're going to make this a hot drink, and so I like vanilla almond milk because it has a lot of sugar. So I'm going to be filling a little cup with vanilla almond milk and then warming it up. So after our cup's nice and hot, I put it in for like a minute or so. We're going to be taking our simple syrup and just adding a spoonful or 2. And so how much you add is really up to your discretion, and up to your taste. And especially because I'm using spoon almond milk, I don't have to use as much. But eventually, depending on how much you add, it's essentially this thing. It's so good. It's basically strawberry milk, but more fancy. It's amazing. Instead of like, the Nesquik thing you get. No, this is like homemade. It's amazing. Tastes way better than that stuff. I love it. I highly recommend trying this one. And it's super easy. It's just like milk and just add the syrup. It's great. Highly recommend. Please try this one. We're going to top this with some homemade whipped cream. Super easy. Just take some heavy cream, powdered sugar, and whip it up real quick. We also use this whipped cream on the cake, as you'll see later. Simply just give it a little twirl, mix it in a little bit. And you can also top this with a little bit more of that additional syrup. If you just want, it looks pretty, okay? Let's be honest. It looks nice and it's sugar. Who doesn't love sugar? Let's move on.
Hey guys, it's time for fact or
Fiction.
Alright, so let's get started. You wanna go ahead?
Alright, so today we have hard crusted bread should not be wrapped. So what do you think?
Okay, I'm thinking when you just bake bread, I shouldn't be helping you.
Wait, what?
You just bake bread, right? It's warm, so I'm thinking the steam will soften the crust. I'm thinking, it says, hard crusted bread should not be wrapped.
Yeah.
Wrapped in what?
I think it's like plastic wrap.
Like plastic wrap?
I mean, what else?
Like, will it soften the... I'm thinking it's going to soften the crust. But that's if it's hot. If if it's hot, the steam would get trapped. I'm thinking like crust might soften.
I think.
And then it gets rubbery too, because I know when I microwave a baguette, instead of toasting, it gets super rubbery. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with.
I think this is wrapping it when it's like already cooled down.
Already cooled down.
So for me, I think that. Oh man.
Should I go for?
I'm gonna go with no because I believe. What's the main reason you wrap bread like in plastic wrap?
So it doesn't dry out.
Exactly, right?
Because the inside gets all crusty.
And that's usually like that happens with softer breads, like for example, sandwich bread.
Dinner
right?
rolls.
It's in like you know a plastic.
Yeah. Because it's already cut. Or a dinner roll. It has those open edges. Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess you can apply that to like a baguette. But I think that since it's hard crusted, perhaps a hard crusted bread like versus soft, it has like more protection against like
And that's another question: is this already cut or not? If it's a cut hard crusted bread,
then
I'd wrap
it's different
it.
because the middle is soft.
Is this not cut?
So I'm guessing it's not cut. So that's why I personally think that this is true. But it does say should not be. Not like you don't have to. Like you should not do it. You know? Yeah. So that's a distinction.
So you're saying that this would be fiction then?
I think it's true.
That you should not wrap pressed bread?
My guess again is because I feel like it's more resilient.
I think it depends. This is so tricky because it depends. I think if it's cut, then you should, but if it's not cut, then you don't have to. I'm not saying that's a bad thing if you do it. I just think you don't have to.
Yeah, but the words it uses is like should not.
I know, meaning like it's a rule that you can't do it. That's why I don't know.
Okay,
it's so literal. Like,
what do you think? What's the verdict here? So for me, I think it's true.
Fact or fiction? Say which one.
Oh, sorry.
Jeez, you have to stick to the prompt.
I think it's fact. Sorry.
Fact that you should not.
Yeah.
It does sound like a fact. Or should not be wrapped. This is tough. I'm gonna go with. I'll say fiction.
Okay.
It's fact. Darn it. I wonder why. We need the whys, man. I need to know why. All right.
I got this one.
Anyway. That wraps up Fact or Fiction for today. Back to the video.
Next, we're going to do another drink. So for this one, we're going to grab a glass. And this is going to be an ice drink. So add a bunch of ice to a glass, about like halfway or a third full. And this is going to be an iced tea. So I brewed some black tea early on, and I just threw it in the freezer real quick. I was just trying to get it to cool down quick. But you can either do the refrigerator too, and just add this to your glass until mostly full, and then add in some syrup. And once again, sweetness is up to your discretion. I like sugary things, so I tend to use a bit more. But keep in mind, as the ice melts, the flavor will go down as well. Give that a good mix. And then I like I like topping off my iced tea with some half and half. And now, finally, for our fourth and final example of what you can do with simple syrup, we're going to be making a simple syrup strawberry glaze. And guess what we're going to put on? Strawberries. So essentially, you're going to add your now loose simple syrup to a saucepan. As you see, I kind of dumped all of it here. I actually later on took some out to use for other things. You don't have to use all of it. Just add as much as you would like for your glaze. Keep in mind, though, you do need a little bit because, as you'll soon see, we're going to bring this to a simmer and reduce it down. So simmer the syrup until you see, as you look at mine, you can see a nice rolling simmer. Keep this going for about 2 to 3 minutes. And wow, just look at that. Like, you can clearly see the large bubbles, the very distinct shine, syrupy texture. This is when you know you're done. The bubbles die down pretty quickly after removing it from the heat, but I just give that a swirl. You can kind of see how it's shiny and thick compared to what we had before. This is the perfect consistency you want for dipping any sort of fruit or using this as a glaze on anything. For fruit, I recommend that your fruit is cold before dipping. It kind of helps the syrup stick a bit more and kind of just, helps with the setting process. We kind of do this real quick, so our syrup is still kind of syrupy by the time we dig in. But personally, I still like this. It still tastes amazing. Just be warned, you're going to have like a nice sticky, kind of texture. It's like candy. It's really nice though. Just the look on the fruit. It's very pretty, and I'll give you guys a close-up in just a second. Oh My goodness, that is gorgeous. All right, I'll give you guys a close up. I mean, just look at that shine. These will look great on any dessert or like any beverage that you would like. And guess what? That's what we're gonna do. It's time for my favorite part. Let's taste test.
All right, so we finished. So here is the it was like a hot strawberry milk, and we used almond milk for this. It's vanilla almond milk, so it's pretty sweet. And then on top we have the some of like the strawberry syrup, and also we have like a whipped cream that I made. And over here we have our iced strawberry drink. So essentially just, strawberry, very strawberry forward. Another way you can use the syrup, and it's a nice sweetener, and I like topping mine with a little bit of half and half. And then as you see here, we have our coated strawberries. So look, it adds a really nice shine effect. It adds some really good sweetness. And we have our little cake here. Yeah, so we have a little strawberry tea cake. Super cute. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy to make too. Yep. All right, let's dig in. Try this first, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really so refreshing. Yeah. Very strawberry forward. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I can get to the cake. Enjoy this later. Ooh, is it good? Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna remove the strawberry. It's so syrupy. Later. The strawberry is amazing. Oh my gosh, it's like candy. So just a reminder, it's gonna splat everywhere, but just a reminder, we use the strawberry simple syrup for this, so we're gonna see if we can actually taste it. It's like so messy. It's so good. It's like a nice glazed. In a fun way though. Mm-hmm. All right. Would you like some cake? Yes, please. Okay. Babies. Alrighty. Thank you. Yeah, you can taste the strawberry. Very good. Mm-hmm. That's why these like simple syrups on cakes and stuff, because you basically you can basically flavor them by using simple syrup. It's really easy, pretty simple to do. You can do many different flavors, like lemon blueberry. You can do mint syrup, which we did before. Mint chocolate, yeah. Mm-hmm. Just anything you can imagine, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah. End of the day, use simple syrup. It's great. Oh, and thanks for watching. And lastly, thank you so much for the 100 subs. We're gonna keep making videos for you guys. I think that's it. Cheers. Oh yeah. First episode is going to be simple syrup, and that's let's get started. Oh, bad. Yeah, come on. First one? No, Adrian, you can easily cut this. Like, that's what I'm saying. Come on. It looks choppy when you do that. No, it doesn't.